3,342 meters inside the mountain, with 800 meters of rock over our heads. First, drill the holes in the rock face, fill them with explosive, and connect the fuses. Document the work. Back off. Prime the fuses, and there goes the blast. Tons of rock have been loosened from the mountain. The spoil is gathered and removed. Now, secure the rock face with shotcrete. Set the anchor bolts. Place the steel ribbing in position with laser-like precision. Lay the steel grills and cover them with shotcrete. The drilling machine can come forward again to prepare the next volley. Altogether, 130 boreholes, 160 kilograms of explosives, 16 cubic meters of concrete, 800 kilos of steel, and the work of 6 miners working for 4 hours for a volley length of 1.7 meters. Total length excavated in 24 hours, about 8 meters.
The Brenner Base Tunnel is part of one of the most important infrastructure projects in Europe. Under the Alpine Range, a modern railway tunnel is being built as part of a high-capacity line between Innsbruck and Fortezza. The significant reduction in travel time between the regional capitals of North Tyrol and South Tyrol will provide new travel and transportation options in this central part of Europe. On April 7, 2007, construction work begins. The ceremony celebrating the tunnel boring machine startup for the construction of the stretch of exploratory tunnel from Ica to Mulez in Italy is the starting gun for the entire project. At the same time, construction on the Mulez access tunnel begins. On December 4, 2009, excavation work begins in Austria. The first works involve the stretch of the exploratory tunnel from the Sill River Gorge southwards towards Brenner. 6 months later, work begins on the Arentel access tunnel. On November 3, 2010, the tunnel boring machine breaks through the last meters of rock in Mulez. 11 kilometers of exploratory tunnel have been completed. In March of 2011, work begins on the Wolf construction lot in Steinach am Brenner. As part of the preparatory logistics, the Saxener and Padester tunnels are built and the largest spoil disposal site is set up in the Padester Valley. In October 2011, the construction work in Mulez intersects one of the greatest geological peculiarities of the Alps, the Peri-Adriatic fault line. A new construction lot with new challenges. As of September 2014, another 38 kilometers are on the program, in the largest construction lot so far, in Tulfes Fons. 1 month later, preparatory work starts south of the Brenner, on the Asarco River underpass, near Fortezza. On March 19, 2015, in the presence of EU Transport Commissioner Violetta Bulc and the Ministers for Transport of the 7 Alpine states, the excavation of the main tunnel tubes of the Brenner Base Tunnel began in Austria. In September 2015, the first tunnel boring machine in Austria started work on the Brenner Base Tunnel, excavating the exploratory work southwards. In Steinach am Brenner, the BBT Tunnel World was opened in March of 2016. This is an information center for the public with interactive attractions. 4 months later, on July 14, 2016, the info point at the fortress in Fortezza was opened. On the same day, the groundbreaking ceremony was held for the Isarco River Underpass construction lot, where complex construction works can now begin. Between December 2016 and April 2017, 6 separate excavation fronts were started as part of the Moulins construction lot. The largest construction lot of the Brenner Base Tunnel, lasting 6 years, is proceeding apace. On the 27th of July 2017, 3 breakthroughs were celebrated on the same day. The emergency tunnel and both connecting tunnels linking the in-valley line with the Brenner Base Tunnel have been completed, celebrating about 200 meters underground. The BBT consists of 2 8-meter wide tubes set at a distance from 70 meters from each other. At 333-meter intervals, a bypass connects the 2 tunnels and can be used as an escape route. Underground emergency stops are located at about 20-kilometer intervals connected to the surface. This configuration conforms to the highest security standards for tunnels. A continuous exploratory tunnel is located 12 meters below the 2 main tunnels, providing information on rock mass conditions. It is also used as a drainage and service tunnel. With the connection to the Innsbruck bypass, which has been operational since 1994, the Brenner Base Tunnel will be, at 64 kilometers, the longest underground rail link in Europe. The works on the Brenner Base Tunnel are divided into construction lots. The current slot, south of Innsbruck, includes the Tulfes area, up to Steinach am Brenner, and involves a total of 38 kilometers of tunnels. Besides the Innsbruck bypass, which runs from Tulfes to Gabelbach. Between 2014 to 2017, a parallel running emergency tunnel was built from the portal in Tulfes to Audrans. The entire 9-kilometer stretch is being excavated by blasting, but in very particular conditions, because in the neighboring Innsbruck bypass, only 30 meters away, the freight traffic toward the Brenner is still running. Cross tunnels connect the bypass tunnel at 333-meter intervals, with the new emergency tunnel, thus bringing the bypass, which has been operational since 1994, into compliance with subsequent safety requirements. This was the reason for constructing the emergency tunnel. The spoil is loaded onto conveyor belts. While still inside the tunnel ad, it is then carried completely underground to the disposal site in Ampass. Avoiding lorry trips to move the spoil reduces the annoyances caused by dust and noise to the local population to a minimum. In summer of 2017, the excavation of the tunnel, which was driven from both ends, was completed. The miners and engineers met at the final breakthrough. Today, thanks to the extremely high precision of modern surveying techniques, it is taken for granted that the tunnel tubes will meet up perfectly. But even so, every breakthrough is a special and emotional time. The way is open towards the Whip Valley. Here, about 160 meters below the town of Audrans, 2 connecting tunnels branch off from the existing railway bypass in the direction of the Whip Valley. These 2 tunnels form a flyover in order to allow a fluid transition between left-hand running, which is customary for rail traffic in Italy, and right-hand running, which is used in Austria. The 2 connecting tunnels took only 2 years to be constructed. The breakthrough took place in summer of 2017, creating an underground connection between the Inn and the Whip valleys. Times like these give the miners and their colleagues pause, and relief is plain to see on their faces. They are thankful that so many kilometers of tunnel were completed without any accidents worth mentioning. Where the connecting tunnels from the Inn Valley give way to the main tubes of the Brenner Base Tunnel below Patch, an emergency stop is being built that can also be used for evacuation. High safety standards guarantee that passengers can leave both the train and the tunnel in safety. A total of 470 meters of connecting tunnels leading to evacuation routes and special ventilation tunnels to remove smoke and provide fresh air were excavated here. The drill and blast work was carried out strictly according to the new Austrian tunneling method, which uses steel ribs, steel matting, anchors, and shotcrete as consolidation and support materials. Rock mass deformations are carefully observed and considered in the planning of the next stretches of the excavation. With this complex system of parallel and cross-lying tunnels that are often quite close to one another, constant, precise surveying and verification are especially important. The emergency stop is the result of a well-thought-out rescue and ventilation plan. The central tunnel guarantees a smoke-free area between the tunnel tubes, where fresh air is pumped in and from which the passengers can be evacuated. Such emergency stops are located every 20 kilometers, and there are a total of 3 along the route of the Brenner Base Tunnel. The exploratory tunnel is located centrally between the 2 main tunnels and about 12 meters below them. This is where the first TBM in Austrian territory was used for excavation work. Since November 2015, the TBM, named Gunther, has been cutting its way through the rock, driving 15 kilometers of the exploratory tunnel southwards, starting from a chamber below the town of Patch, which is connected to the surface by the Arantel access tunnel. The exploratory tunnel provides information on the geological characteristics of the rock mass, and will therefore make the subsequent construction of the main tubes efficient, fast, safe, and cost-effective. The TBM is 180 meters long and has a diameter of 8 meters. The boring machine head is equipped with disc cutters, which rotate slowly and constantly, while the TBM pushes hard against the rock face, digging its way through the mountain. Behind the cutter head, the backup provides for consolidation works through installation of tunnel linings and anchors, steel ribs, reinforcing steel mats, and shotcrete. The tunnel floor is built with prefab concrete elements, the so-called tubbing rings. Fully automated, multi-service vehicles shuttle back and forth to the TBM to supply construction material, concrete and prefab elements. Tunnel spoil is transported on a conveyor belt system. All the material taken from the mountain must be returned to nature. Here in the Arantel Valley, approximately 2.6 million cubic meters of excavated material will be relocated along the Brenner Highway. Great care is taken to ensure that the disposal site is embedded into the landscape in the best possible way to create new available land that will be gradually replanted and covered with green growing things. Another construction site for the Brenner Base Tunnel is located in the municipal area of Steinach am Brenner in the district of Wolf, where the Wolf construction lot was completed in summer 2017. The works of the Wolf construction lot, which included the construction of the 4-kilometer-long access tunnel, a large underground chamber, and 1.2 kilometers of the exploration tunnel, started in 2013 and were completed in summer 2017. Subsequently, further excavation work northwards and southwards, the construction of the Sankt Jodok emergency stop, and of the stretch of the exploratory tunnel towards the Italian border will start from here. Soon several tunnel boring machines will be put into service at this site. The largest disposal site for excavation material, the Padasta Valley, is also located in Steinach. After the completion of construction works and revegetation, this deeply cut valley will become arable land. The Padasta Brook will be rerouted to a new bed on the surface, and new wooded and pasture areas will be created. About half of the excavation material of the Austrian project area will be deposited here. The excavation material is transported to this disposal site using underground conveyor belts, and the local residents hardly notice it. The largest construction lot in the Italian project area was launched at the end of 2016. Between 2007 and 2015, preparatory works were carried out, including the access tunnel, the exploratory tunnel, 2 kilometers of the main tubes, and the TBM assembly chambers. In the next few years, another 40 kilometers of the main tunnels will be excavated all the way up to the border with Austria. And towards the Asarco River underpass, the lot also includes the construction of the emergency stop in Trens, 10 kilometers of connecting and logistics tunnels, and 15 kilometers of the exploratory tunnel towards the Brenner. With the start of the last excavation section, which was celebrated in April 2017, 6 drifts are simultaneously underway, 4 northwards and 2 southwards. In this construction lot, excavation work will be carried out both with drilling and blasting, and with 3 TBMs, the first of which will be activated at the end of 2017 and excavate the exploratory tunnel northwards. Thanks to the characteristics of the rock mass found in Moulez, it is possible to recycle the spoil and, after reprocessing, to use it to produce building materials. Thus, 30% of the excavated material can be reused. In the southernmost section of the Brenner Base Tunnel, the new railway line will cross the valley and pass under the Asarco River. This is a complex challenge, and the stretch under the Asarco River especially requires special construction techniques. Elaborate preparatory construction measures are required for the actual excavation of the tunnel, such as the consolidation of the soil using concrete injections, digging of 4 large shafts, and ground freezing in the planned excavation area. Only then can the construction of the tunnels under the river begin. Further along the route, the last few meters to the southern portal of the tunnel, as well as the connecting tunnels linking the main line with Fortezza railway station, will be built using drilling and blasting. In the last phase of construction, after about 7 years, the entire construction site will be restored to its natural condition.
People always ask me, what are compensatory measures? Working in BBT SE, we are aware of the effects of major construction sites. Therefore, we do a lot to compensate those impacts. And this is also why we finance and implement significant improvements to habitat and nature in our project area. Habitats, wetlands, and moorland are revitalized and expanded as recreational areas for the population. The river courses of the Asako River and the Maraita and Sil brooks are being rerouted. This means fish can swim upriver again and reach their spawning grounds, and these mountain brooks will regain their original characteristics. In the next few years, a total of 250 such compensatory measures will be implemented.
In the BBT tunnel world in Steinach am Brenner, near the valley station of the Bergerarm ski slope, information about and closer glimpses of the major Brenner Base Tunnel project are available throughout the year. In 800 meters squared of exhibition space and in the display tunnel, you can experience tunnel construction in a fun and instructive way and get the latest information about the project. Not far from the tunnel world, the new circular walking path in the Pedasta Valley offers a spectacular view over the disposal site and provides information on the spot about the site and the nature-friendly measures which were carried out. Once a year, the tunnel construction site is open for interested visitors, such as in September and October of 2016, when over 5,000 visitors got the chance to see the fascinating world of tunneling up close on the Wolf and Mules construction sites. Employees of BBT explain facts about tunneling, geology and topography. A special entertainment program for all ages makes the open tunnel days a special experience. And who knows, perhaps someone will have the chance to find their true calling. Another information center on the project of the century is located in the old fortress in Fortezza, near the southern entrance to the tunnel. It provides information on the history of the Brenner Pass, on the project and the progress of the works, as well as statements from people who work on the project itself in all its many facets. Originally a masterpiece of Habsburg military architecture, built as a barrier no army could overcome, the fortress of Fortezza now serves as an information hotspot for one of the biggest projects in the world, aimed at bringing people together. Construction on the Brenner Base Tunnel is in full swing. If everything goes according to plan, the construction work will be completed by the end of 2026.